Hello, this is Professor Sides, and this course is Principles of Microeconomics. Today we will cover Chapter 1. This is meant to be an introductory chapter, so pay attention to your vocabulary, the principles mentioned, and the concepts introduced. Everything you learn in this chapter can be sourced back to one of the following 10 principles, which we will divide into 3 subgroups. And this is everything that you will learn for the rest of the semester will be sourced back to this chapter. So make sure that you have a full understanding of what we're going to discuss in this lecture. Let's begin with, as we go through this lecture, I'm going to reference future chapters. I'm going to say this will be in chapter 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever that chapter is, so that you can make the connection that what we're talking about in this chapter is foundational to what we're going to discuss in future chapters in the semester. Now let's take a look at our objectives for this chapter. In this chapter, we have 4 questions, and at the end of the lectures and after you've read and studied the textbook, you should be able to answer the following questions. First and foremost, what types of questions does the study of economics answer? And then the last three questions is where our 10 principles come in. And the 10 principles, understanding those principles will help you better answer these questions. And specifically, which principles mention or discuss in detail how people make decisions, how they interact, and then how the economy overall works. Now, when we talk about people, when we talk about individuals, we're also talking about, it can be an individual, it can be a household, it can be a group of people, it could be a class of people, it could be a race of people, or it can be a gender of people. So throughout the textbook, you'll read individuals, but I want you to not just think of just individuals. I also want you to think about groups of people, classes of people, race of people, or any type of organized cluster of people. Okay. What is economics all about? Economics is a social science, and it is the study of the behavior in a business or in a business context. And basically what we look at in economics is how do we allocate, how do we manage, how do we distribute the limited resources that are available to us. First, we base our assumption and our premise that whatever resources we have are finite. They are limited. We don't have an overabundance. We have a small or finite fixed amount of resources. And somehow those resources have to be allocated, distributed among the individuals, households, groups, classes, race of people, genders of people, so that everyone receives some level of satisfaction. So when we talk about what questions does economics address, the primary question that is addressed is, what do we do with the resources? How do we get it distributed so that everyone is better off? In economics, we talk through this process and this decision-making process, which is the crux of, or the basis, or the foundation of economics. As I conclude this portion of the lecture, please remember that the following lectures, what we're going to do is break up, there's 10 principles, and we're going to break them up and discuss each one individually, making reference to future chapters. That way you can pull it all together. So this is more a big picture of what you're going to learn in this class over the semester. I'm looking forward to working with you, and I will talk to you soon. Have a good one.